At a glance, it's easy to draw connections to Extinction from things like Shadow of the Colossus or Attack on Titan. You climb and kill giant ogres that are sieging cities hiding behind high but ineffective walls. But when I actually got my hands on its first few missions, Extinction played closer to games like God of War, with lightning-fast, combo-filled combat that's surprisingly deep. Each mission in Extinction puts you in charge of protecting a city from waves of demons, trying to save as many people and buildings as you can. While ogres may be the main course, there are also hordes of smaller enemies terrorizing citizens on a more personal level. It's fighting these opponents where Extinction's combat mechanics really shined, as I quickly hopped between targets. Button mashing is cleverly discouraged by linking the timing of your attacks to different kinds of moves. A slight pause between presses will change your basic swing into an AoE attack, while a longer press will knock an enemy up into the air where you can continue to wail on them. This made combat feel engaging instead of mindless. That stretches into Extinction's movement mechanics as well, which let me speed over rooftops with grace. You can move extremely fast, especially when taking advantage of the amazingly fun grappling hook. But you still have to move smart and can't just climb straight up walls for too long. Figuring out how to get to your objective can be a challenge in itself, and certain levels in Extinction have explicitly designed jumping puzzles to conquer mid-fight. There are combos to the movement too, like climbing up a wall as far as you can, hopping backwards off of it, and then using a big slash to fling yourself just a little bit higher to make it somewhere you otherwise couldn't. Those movement techniques become vital when facing down the big bad ogres. To take one down, you have to charge up a special attack meter, make it to the top of their back, then use a special slash to cut off its head, though it's rarely that straightforward. You can get on top of an ogre a couple different ways. The most common I used was cutting off a leg and climbing up its back. But they can have a variety of different armor to impede you along the way. The simplest is wood, which takes just a single hit to break off, but there's also armor that can't be broken, armor that will hurt you when you touch it, and even helmets and collars that protect the ogre's neck. That said, killing an ogre still wasn't nearly as complex or as imposing as I was expecting. Even with all the different armor they can wear, each one is still killed basically the same way. This means they aren't really big boss fights as much as they are just another type of enemy, albeit an enormous and imposing one that can't be ignored. And there's always more to do in a mission than you possibly have time for, so managing that time well is important. Do you let an ogre smash up the city while you save people elsewhere, or sacrifice some lives to take it down fast? Fundamentally, Extinction is about making these hard decisions, then executing the plan you've committed to. The biggest question I was left with after playing a few missions in Extinction is one of variance. I'm not convinced different ogre armor and city layouts alone will be enough to hold my attention, and I didn't get to see exactly how later mission types would shake things up. But what I did see is a satisfying and fun brawler inspired by a lot of very good ideas that's managed to make something entirely new out of them. For more on Extinction, check out the official developer walkthrough from E3 2017. And for more giant slaying, watch our graphics comparison of the upcoming Shadow of the Colossus remake. For everything else, keep it right here on IGN.